Hello, cherished viewers. Welcome to the program Mining for the Truth. Joseph Atta is my name, and I'm here with my assistant,
Mrs. Atta.
Mining for the Truth refers to the process of digging to discover the undiluted doctrines of Christ. We attend Church of Christ, of course, from Ghana, West Africa. It has two reasons as follows. One, to teach the word. John 1 verse 1. In the beginning was the word, and the word was with God, and the word was God. You can prove, referencing Genesis 1 verse 1. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The plural Hebrew word for God there is Elohim. God the Father, God the Son, Jesus Christ, the Word, God the Holy Spirit. Elohim means God is powerful and God of creation. Two, to teach the truth. John 8:32. And you know the truth, and the truth will make you free. What is the truth? John 17:17. Sanctify them by your truth, your word is truth. What is the truth manifestation? John 14 verse 6. Jesus said to him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. The phrase except by me means that there is no any other name under the heavens and the earth upon which we are being saved, except Jesus Christ. Acts 4 verse 12. On that note, we welcome you to the teachings, and the topic is the plain truth about money. We are on chapter 4. Last episode. So today will be episode 4. You cannot serve God and money. Matthew 6 verse 24c.
C. Or L.
Or you can even read all, because we are ending everything today.
Okay. 24. No one can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will be loyal to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and Mammon.
Thank you. So you'll be looking at two objectives. One, the meaning of serve. Two, the voluntary slaves of God. And then the last one will be beware of materialism. So three objectives as follows. One, the meaning of serve. B, voluntary slaves of God, or Jesus, if you want to put, because Jesus is God. And then beware of materialism. So first things first. We are looking at the Matthew 6 verse 24c. So we say that having laid the groundwork for his primary message, Jesus says you cannot serve both God and money. The word translated money is mammonia. That's if I'm using the NIV version. Mammon, of course, she read from the New King James Version. So M-O-N-A. So mammona, sorry. A term borrowed from the Aramaic language denoting money, possessions, property, or wealth. So basically it is the same as the King James. Money. From money that we get possessions, we buy. From the same money that we buy properties, people buy land, they do a lot. From the same man that you call someone wealthy man. So here you have known that money, mammona, means, or mammon means money, possession, property, or wealth. Still on William Beckley. The Hebrew word for material possession was mammon, as she read. Originally, mammon did not have negative connotation. You see, when a word begins with a small letter, you have not named it. But later, then they began to write mammon with capital M. It's when it became an object of God that people are worshipping. Of course, if you are mentioning, for example, America, it starts with capital A. Proper noun, name of something. So, mammon in the olden days just refer to possessions that could be entrusted to someone else for safekeeping. Buckley writes, but as years went on, as I already have summarized, mammon came to mean not that which is entrusted. So mean that initially, if I should give you something, it could be a phone, it could be beans, it could be maize, farm produce. It was termed as mammon, small m. Not that which is entrusted, but that in which man has put his trust in. The end of the process was that mammon came to be spelled with a capital M and came to be regarded as nothing less than a god, what we worship. So the moment you are beginning with a capital M, it means it is representing something. I made mention of grains. It could be maize or beans. Of course, it was a name of something, but it began with small m. Of course, you can't call my name by starting with a small a. It should be capital A, Ata, referencing a human being. So the man concludes that the history of that word shows vividly how material possessions can usurp. The word usurp means have a place in life which they were never meant to have. So if you have allowed that to come and then occupy you, to own you, it means that thing has become a god on you, to rule over you, to tell you, to direct you. Many compete with God for our love and allegiance. Same money, or possessions or what? It competes. We have used it to substitute the place of God. God said, I am a jealous God. Do not worship any other thing except me. The me here is making reference to Jesus Christ and not me in person anyway. In other words, material possessions can usurp the place of God, can have the place of God. So as I said, we are using money or things that money can buy to substitute the place of God. As my wife correctly taught last week, people have replaced God with money. So simple. So we'll not even waste time to debate on this. Instead of us to go to church, to have time for God, we are using our work, our marriage, our business, our tasks to replace our church meetings. So basically, you are worshiping those distractions, and of course, they will lead you to hell at the final judgment. That is why Jesus personified money, picturing it as a master who seeks to enslave us and take over our lives. Money competes with God for our life. Okay, so now since we cannot serve two masters, we must choose between God and money. So what are you choosing? As I've been saying, if we should draw two circles where they are intersecting. So one person, the same person is, for example, A and B. So A is intersection, or A intersection A. So the intersection becomes the human being. Inside two circles, 1 foot on the A or in the A, and then 1 foot also in the B. So the person is playing dual game here. Choose one. So either you are in the first A circle or you are in the B circle. Not that you are in both two circles. So make a choice between God or money. My wife said last week that money isn't evil. In fact, the book of Ecclesiastes is saying that we should enjoy our youth. How do you enjoy? By using money anyway. So Bible is not against making money. Jesus is saying to us, of course, if you go to Joshua 24, verse 15, choose what you serve. He said, for me and my house, we worship God. We will serve the Lord. So what are you also serving with your wife or your family? Joshua emphasized that for he and his family, they existed to serve God. You. Jesus is saying to us, as Joshua said to the Israelites, choose for yourselves this day whom you will serve. So whom are you serving? Comes to our first objective. The meaning of serve. Of course, serve is coming from a Greek word, doulos. You see, it is spelled D-O-U-L-O-S, but if you are pronounced it D-O-O, you understand, L-O-S. So the Greek word for serve is doulos. That's what we read in Matthew 6, verse 24. And of course, it is a verb, and you know a verb, an action word, which means slave or bondage. Slave master. You are under bondage. It means that you are being ruled, dictated to, with regards to your actions. So when you take Matthew 6, verse 24, the word serve, translated as the Greek verb doulos, means slave. Jesus is saying that money, hungry materialists are slaves. People are hungry for success. I don't know whether money is sweet or not. People are, in fact, I'm surprised because we go online to read the billionaires. Some have died. Some are still alive. They are being overtaken by others. They are competing. Now, competing for what? You want to make a name on earth. Make your name in heaven than on earth. I didn't say don't make money, but there shouldn't be avid interest. If you get it, fine. If you don't get, don't stress. If you don't stress, life is such that don't stress because it is what you're making. So we say that Jesus is saying that money-hungry materialists are slaves. So forever they will be controlled by money. If money is what we think about all the time, and if we spend every waking hour trying to accumulate wealth, we are possessed by our possessions. Money isn't everything. And if you go to the book of Ecclesiastes, it is saying that he who thinks of happiness always is a fool. It is not always that life should be in the form of making merry. It's a rivet. Money isn't everything. That's what I want you to know. You continue. We are enslaved by the greater of gold and precious jewels, houses, automobiles. It could be boats, beautiful clothing. It could be car or cars, motorhomes. The way you travel, you want to go on vacation, trucks, and other forms of wealth. Now name them. Things that you think they make you happy. I've been saying that the body is never content. You bath and bath again. You drink water and drink again. You eat the best of food and you must eat again. Until you die, the body will always demand. So I find it interesting when people drink wine and they think that they are completely satisfied. It is not true. You're going to do that intermittently. So don't stress your life. And at the end, whether you eat good food or bad food, you will die. No matter how cautious you are. Every day you are going. And you can't eat meat. What is the problem? People are trying to fake their death. People think that there are some special food that you eat to make you look younger. My friend, you didn't get yourself. You will die. What is the problem? People have done what you are doing before. They have died and they are gone. So what's the problem in this life? Oh, they have to enjoy life. I mean, take good care of yourself. Eat fruits, vegetables, go on jogging. The end is that you must die.
But they take good care of themselves and they keep long.
Yes,
rather than eating junk food and those things.
And still they die. And you can see that those of us who were from poor homes, last time I was saying that in the morning we ate cassava, roasted cassava. In the afternoon we ate ampisi. In the evening, fufu. Same cassava, same carbohydrates, same sugar. Here I am, strong and rigid. People who drank a Milo in the morning with toasted bread and egg. Sometimes they have to even vary the breakfast. Sometimes you have to bonvita. We have oats. You see, assorted breakfast. Jam, you have pineapple jam, orange jam, the paste. It could be margarine, Ghana paste, cheese. then the lunch, the supper. In fact, they ate balanced diet food. But I can tell you that some of them are now having some kind of a chronic disease and others. Now, it's good to take care of your health. That one is good. But your health is determined by God, not what you eat. Because it is what you eat. Sometimes will even mislead you. People have been eating honey with the hope that they will be brilliant. They are the worst in school or in classes. So you see, nature itself sometimes can easily deceive you. It takes God's grace and divine intervention for you to live healthy. And nevertheless, you must still take care of yourself. But we are saying that the end of human cycle is that you must die. This is what I'm trying to establish. That no matter how preventive you are, you can't prevent yourself from growing and from aging. You must transform from childhood into adulthood, into old age. You die to go and meet your maker. So those of you who are being antichrist, being used by Satan to insult, to condemn God, to condemn the Bible, you are approaching your maker. And for sure you must die. We are owned by what we own. So what we accumulate rather become our God to worship. Every word has become the God we worship and serve. It is our master, and it is true. For example, we are sitting in a sofa, right? At my church, we sit on a very hard wood chair. Some are thinking that they should even go to church where they'll be given a soothing chair to sit on. So, comparing the luxury in the home, good fan, good AC, good environment, driving or taking a public transport to pass through the stress, the heat, to go to a church without a ceiling fan, to be bitten by mosquitoes, then they shun. Gradually, they change their faith from one religion to the other because they want a soothing place. By so doing, word has become your master. It has been dictating to you and telling you what to do and then what to do. At one time, Demas was one of Paul's fellow workers. Now, this can be proved from Colossians 4 verse 14 and then Philemon 1 verse 24 to prove to you that Demas was a co-worker or fellow worker of Paul. But when we read 2 Timothy 4 verse 10, it is saying that when Paul was in Rome, when he was condemned into Roman prison, Demas left him to Thessalonica. Why? He left to accumulate wealth, so he loved the world. Basically, his friend was in affliction. He deserted Paul. I said, read Colossians 4 verse 14. Then Philemon 1 verse 24. It will prove to you that Demas was a co-worker or fellow worker of Paul or with Paul. But when Paul was condemned into Roman prison in terms of 2 Timothy 4, 2 verse 10, right? 4 verse 10. Demas flee to Thessalonica. Why? To accumulate wealth, worldly wealth. So, Demas' loyalty and love had switched from God to worldly possessions. He switched from following God into worldly possessions. That's all. And that's what we are all doing. When there is affliction, when we are hit by life, the unforeseen event happens. I am trying to quote from my wife's last few teachings, and you did very well. In fact, you've been doing so well, and then thank you for that. I'm hoping that in future you'll be here with your children, and I'll be a coach. I mean, relaxing. Yes, it's good. It's good. It is good that you have joined me, and I'm so happy. I'm happy. Otherwise, by now, as I'm teaching, should be watching TV and then to distract, giving it some kind of a loud sound to distract, and that's the problem that we are facing in Africa. Because if you don't marry your friend, but you marry your enemy. So God bless you on that. I'm grateful. Even if You don't teach, and then you sit here with me. It is a plus. Of course, in the Bible, not all of us can be teachers. Though I'm not forcing you, but I'm trying that at least for once, then you feature some. So you say about the featuring, and you say about the featuring. Yeah, I'm featuring you anyway. I'm featuring. With time, you'll be on call, you can treat 4 topics on your own. So thank you. So last week, that what I would say, I'm saying was what she was also saying. When we are affected, we thought that Christianity is so sweet. No, it is bitter. To carry your cross as a phrase means that, my friend, all your relations, most will desert you. The problems that you are going to face is the meaning of to carry the cross. So don't think that, in fact, no cross, no crown. Christ was given the cross before the crown. No cross, no crown. This is what you must know. I think we will not waste time on that. We will continue with the B, voluntary slaves of God. So I'll give you 5 instances. Romans 1 verse 1 starts by saying, Paul, the apostle, opened his letter to the Romans by saying, Paul, a servant of Jesus Christ. So we try to trace 5 emphases of doulos. Number 1 is Romans 1 verse 1. That's what Paul told the Romans, that I am a servant of Christ. 2. Don't read it. 2. Titus 1 verse 1. Paul's letter to Titus. He said, Paul, a servant of God. We mean slave of God. Slave of God. Now today, James 1 verse 1. James, the half-brother of the Master Jesus Christ, opened his epistle. Of course, James is an epistle. With these words, James, a servant of God and of the Lord Jesus Christ. 4. Peter, 2 Peter 1 verse 1. Peter opened or begins his second epistle the same way. Simon Peter, a servant and apostle of Jesus Christ. We continue. 5. Revelation 15 verse 3. Moses was called the servant of God. So all these are here to tell you that if you were a Christian, you are a slave of Jesus Christ. The great heroes of faith in the Bible felt honored to be called servant or slaves or doulos of God. They realized that they were not free to do as they pleased. They regarded Jesus Christ as Lord and Master. We are also to follow suit. If you go to Matthew 28, verse 18 to 20, Mark 16, verse 15 to 16, go ye therefore, we are all charged to study the Bible. You go and preach to the lost. So this means that you are not on your own. We are not on our own. If we are on our own, why are we wasting our time to come online every Saturday to teach? If you go to 1 Corinthians 6, verse 19 and 20, the Apostle Paul said to the Christians in Corinth, you are not your own. You were bought at a price. Therefore, honor God with your body. So you see. So even those of us who have been baptized into the Lord's church, we are to honor Christ. We are not on our own. We are slaves, born servants of Jesus Christ. And slaves of God. As 22 verse 10 is saying that we are not free to do as we wish. So similar to Saul of Tarsus, we ask, what shall I do, Lord? So you ask, then the master will command, then you follow suit. Simple. This is the order of a master and then a slave. So to those of you who have become antichrist, being used as a tool to speak against Christ, his father, and their kingdom, I am very happy that every human being will die. This is my happiness. I'm so happy. And unfortunately, you will die before you know your fate. So In fact, I love nature. And after you are dead, or when you are about to die, you see, if you read Luke, Hebrews 9:27, it is automatic graduation. God is not going to wait till the final. No. When you die, you are judged entirely, either to Tartarus or paradise. And when you die, it's when you will know that, so all what that you are condemning to mean money or to get more followers, to get more people to subscribe to your channels, fine, it's good. Very, 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 very good. Until you die, you know that indeed there's a maker. You see, there are some people who are so vagabond. They think that they are on their own. Until they are handcuffed, it's when they become so sober. Hey, so indeed, police station exists. I mean, cell exists. Don't you have sense that crime, if you go to jail, they will go bath with medicines, concussions. When you are handcuffed, it's when you see absolute humility. So it is also when you fall ill that you are about to die. Remember Robert Ingersoll, when we were talking about prayer, on his sick bed, he said, God, have mercy on my soul, if I have a soul. He lived as a pure antichrist who staged to mock Christ and the kingdom of God. But when he was dying, now me, I ask you, those of you, especially Africans, online joking about the Bible. This man was from the US, Robert Ingersoll, who hosted podiums to make massive mockery. You are you. What have you achieved in terms of mocking God? People have mocked. You talk of the Roman soldiers, the Pharisees and then the scribes. So me, when I see you doing this, I see you as a cartoon because you are less than them. People, real antichrist, have come to condemn Christ. So yours is so tiny, more or less an ant walking on earth. Its impact has no influence on earth because the ant is so tiny and it is weightless. So what you are doing, I see you as a cartoon. You are hungry. In fact, you are hungry, or they are hungry. Yes, because when you do that, you can get about 1K or 2K views within 1 hour by posting a video. So that they can make money. But if you have gone to school, I mean proper school, where you are being paid well, when you began your life through your parents' discipline, that you learn work, so now you are master artisan. You went to school, so now you are working. You venture into business, so now you are doing car business, or you won't have time for this. It's when you know that life and blessings are God's gifts. You have people who are so rich, even presidents who care to win their elections, they go to church. Yes, they go to church. They go to church for pastors to pray for them. Bible existed in the first century. Christianity began in the first century. It was not a new thing. People have worshipped properly. That's how we are continuing. If you read Ecclesiastes 1 verse 9 and 10, there's nothing new under the sun. If Christianity was not there, you will not see it today. So what you are doing had already existed. And I'm saying that they were popular. I mean, how can you be in Ghana and then turn yourself into a cartoon to mock God? You see, I see you as a how do I even clarify? Because as if you are, in fact, it's a mannequin who is dying for attention because he has no means to be known. So this is the only means. What do you gain by insulting God? What at all will you gain? People have used evil means to make money, and now they are surrounded entirely. Some have confessed, giving all their monies to charity, and now some are farmers. They have begun afresh. It is when you fall ill, when you're about to die, when you die, it's when you see your stupidity. That having lived my life with Satan, this is my end God. Satan is crafty, has nothing to offer. So you can imagine being alive, using your strength to kill, to mock God, and at the end too, you go to hell. But people are thinking that hell is for fun. Fine, it's good. The world was created by a creator. So if God is saying that he's going to arrest Satan for 1,000 years, free him and re-arrest him, that is a natural order. You are in no position to debate. You were not there when the world was being created. Today I am on those. If you want to be a mocker, travel overseas. Because if you are in Africa and you are mocking, me, I see you as a junkie. And a junkie is someone who is addicted to something. I'm not necessarily that someone who is a youth smoker. So if you are addicted to mocking, you are a junkie. Myself, I'm a junkie because always I'm in the Bible. So anybody who is addicted to something is a junkie. So it's because people don't understand English. They use junkie as an insult. But we use junkie to refer to someone who is addicted to something. They are existing to insult. The Bible is a fairy tale. People have done this. Some died instantly. Some were cursed by God, by nature. Brazil, they went to mock God, and we see what happened. We have these stories online everywhere. Me, I will even be happy if we were white and American God than a frustrated and disappointed African who has done nothing for his country. He has done nothing upon all what he's saying. Ghana is this country. What have you done, my friend? Having the divine intervention earlier that Ghana needs this. From when you were born till now, you always condemning 2 videos. What have you done? You've gone abroad. Before you were going, you knew that Ghana was in lighthouse. Fine. Oh, very good. You've been there for 10 years, 5 years, 20 years. If you are sensible, by now you should have solved the problem from your community, not the whole Ghana. Yeah, small. When we say education, education is when you have known a problem in your community or in your country. So therefore, when you are going to school, then you pursue that course or program. You come back to help. For example, if you are always importing maize from abroad or from, let's say, Togo, I've seen that this import is a burden. Because I've seen it earlier, I should go to school, read agric science, learn how to plant maize so that the country will stop importing. Then we see you to be a good and wiser citizen. I'm not someone who will travel to Togo to record videos that come and see Togo, maize and nothing here. If you go to Ghana, what have you done? It's my question. If you want to mark God, be someone who is so popular. What if you're in Ghana using some kind of inferior phone to record videos and gaining followers and you are wasting your time? Robert Ingisor from USA. Ingisor, when he was dying on his sick bed or dying bed, he said, "Oh God, have mercy." The word is mercy. I mean someone who mounted podium USA, not in Ghana. And of course, it is believed that heaven on earth is USA. So, my friends, I have a friend in UK, Australia, Canada, USA. But they are always saying that you should have gone to USA. So this man was in USA. So think of his popularity. But when he was about to die, he said, "Oh God, if there is God." So you see, partially he didn't even.
At first, he doesn't believe that there is God.
So now he's not saying that there's God.
No, he wasn't sure.
Okay.
It's a cross.
Okay, excellent. It's a cross. Excellent. That's why you marry a woman who is illiterate. Me, I hate illiterate. I just hate someone who is illiterate. I hate them a lot. In fact, oh God, if there is God, have mercy on my soul. If I have a soul, this was or were his exact quotes. Robert Ingiso, go online and search. See popularity then. USA, not even today, in the olden days. He lived as a pure antichrist. So yours, I'm saying that it has no effect. Yours is so tiny, so the word is meager. You mean so little, below little, that we don't even see it. Go to USA, UK, read philosophy. You understand? Become a scientist. When you are so renowned, a professor, where you belong to an association, it's when you talk, the media will hear you. But if you are on TikTok, on Facebook, it is so tiny. Not how many people will even go there. But the moment there's something from overseas, we all read it. Be a good mocker. So when you die, you will see. Serving God is a full-time job, and there's nothing wrong. Choosing to worship God in this life, we have chosen to worship God. You can tell me nothing. Bible is a fairy tale, it's a storybook. So what?
There's no God.
Garden of Eden was a myth. Eve had a husband. Foolish stories. I don't care. My mind is to follow God. And as you see, we are working. Have I ever called you for money? Unless you want to donate, of course, as a gift. And of course, there's no way we will force you. We are using our own resources to fund our own preaching. We cannot take time off from being a Christian. That's why we come your way every Saturday. It is a full-time job, my friend. Consistency pays. Those of you who are part-time Christians and part-time worshippers, no, it's not good. You come off and then you go on. Even if there are some kind of circumstances, you must still maintain your unity with God. You understand what I'm saying? For example, there was some kind of maybe a month, it could be a rainy season. Maybe you don't have money to take a car to church. Still, be closer to your Bible. That's what we are saying. You can't always go to church till you die. That one is not true. At no time can we relax the high standards of Christ and spend our time enjoying the pleasure of sin. No, it's not true. It is not true. We are not free to chart our own course into the future without consulting God. So if you're a Christian, you speak what the Bible speaks. You are silent where the Bible is also silent. Where I can't answer, I quote Deuteronomy 29 verse 29a. The secret things belong to the Lord, our God. Simple. Then you end there. Why this, why that? Then I quote. Live your life well, as my wife rightly quoted. So that when you go to heaven, you go then your question, he will answer you. If you are in a school and you want clarification, the best person to go is to the HOD. Please say, Madam said this because he is the direct instructor from the principal. Are you aware? Because he attends meeting with the management. He comes to tell the staff, and the staff also tells the students. So if you want them, because you cannot have access to the principal, the best person to consult is HOD. It's not always about school, your workplace. Because what he says, sometimes the teacher or the staff can go and then tell the communication. So if you want facts, you go to him straight and you ask. So what he says is what you will obey. We are always consulting God before we do anything. When we're eating the prayer, when you are drinking the juice, they prayed. When they saw a mountain, they prayed. Fruit, everything they prayed. Very good. We say with James, if it is the Lord's will, we mean James 4 verse 15, we will live and do this or that. Don't say tomorrow I will go. If it is God's, so I will say God, I will see tomorrow. God's willing. Tomorrow we will travel. God's willing. Always God's willing. The will of God. And some people will decide, I don't go to church, I don't pray to God. Always I travel and then I return safely. Some pray, they do fast and prayers, they travel and they die. It is nature. You know nothing about that. So sit in your cell and then your time will come. We are on the last one. Beware of materialism. Go down. Now, materialism is the ambition of laying treasures on earth. Simple. Matthew 6 verse 19. Materialism is the ambition. The word is ambition. You are ambitious. We have what you call political ambition. I don't want to say something, otherwise people will think that I'm criticizing one of our past president. But when he became the president, he wanted to unite the whole Africa, and it was wrong. For Africa, we are not the same as USA, where we have different states or 1%. No, each country or continent is on its own, and due to that, you see that you're going to neglect your own country whilst you try to impress other countries. You call that one political ambition. Before when he was campaigning, this was never in his mind. But when he stepped, then this became so. Basically, there's no way you're going to afford. Is it correct? That's some people, they have a good motive. When I come, I will do this. When I come, I will do this and that, this and the moment they get a post, ambition. So they will forget. They will do something so contrary to what from their own manifesto. So that it is extremely opposite. So they say that materialism is the ambition. I'm stuck on the word ambition of laying up treasures on earth. That's all. So the materialists are only interested to accumulate wealth on earth, to be known, to be called to programs at a party, occasions, in terms of ranking, buy cars. They build to compete anyway. They buy cars to compete because they have their fellow friends in which they meet. They in one body, they compete. Every year they go and buy a new car. Every year they must buy a new car. It's a mere competition. For them, they are living their life on earth, and we are Christians. We don't live with them. So materialism is a false religion. It is true. It gives no comfort. You can't even sleep when there's light out. The whole place is hot. You have AC, you have fan, you have that. Unless there is a generator, and that one too can be faulty. You see that you cannot provide for yourself always. You are driving in a Porsche car. You are hereby informed that when the car was made, it was also made in such a way that the car must develop a fault. That's why they made we have called spare parts. And we have a fitters that have also learned to maintain the car. So you are on your way to a meter, and then your car will break down. So you see that by having money, you can't even control your own accessories, car, land. This you can't control. Now in Ghana, they are constructing a road and has affected people's property. You can do nothing with it. So materialism is a false religion, my friend. It is so deceptive. Same on the church quiz. Materialism honors created things more than the creator and makes idols of blessings of God. That should have been, or that should have prompted thanks to him. See, some are giving their thanks to the juju that they have. I was driving and then my ring pinched me. So when I stopped, then the next car involved in my accident. So the ring from the malam has saved him. So therefore the person is giving the glory to the ring. So you see that there's a God in between you and then the maker. And of course, it is the nature that they have vowed to worship that lesser God. Fine. It blinds, shackles, and imprisons the greedy much as the Philistines blinded, shackles, and imprisoned the mighty Samson. You know shackles, chains. Shackles, So you see that people who are rich have made themselves slaves in a cage, unaware. So stingy to give. They have money at the bank. Sometimes they have to sleep with the young girl, the girl who is pleading for he fostered dues or money before it is given. Wicked, pure wickedness. To give for free, no. Of course, some too are generous anyway, not all of them. The blinded slave cannot easily find a way to escape from his cruel master, so that he can flee to the arms of the gracious master, who loves him and desires the best for him. It is true. Satan has blindfolded people who are having avid interest to make more money. If you go to 2 Corinthians 4 verse 4, he says that the God of this age has blinded them so that they will not see the glory of God. And it is true. When you are free is when you work together. But now you are preoccupied. Do this every day, agenda. Every day you are doing nothing. They can't even sleep. They can look through their phones until they are weak. Some are driving, will do it and then will die, and then you are free in life. Yes. They don't even have time to rest. Materialism drags us down. This is when you are a Christian. God lifts us up and enables us to face life's problems with strength and serenity. He gives you serene comfort. You must be aware that God is the master of the world. He created us. We didn't create him. Also, we are saying that everything, he is the Alpha and then the Omega, beginning and the end. All what we have and they are on earth belongs to him. Our duty is to be good stewards. How? By giving, and then you are sharing. I love the rich who share. That one is a good thing. I mean, those who are making genuine money. Once again, this laptop, Dell SPS, advanced laptop, was given to me for free by a friend in USA, my own friend. And I'm so happy that he still remembers me, that he has a friend in Ghana. That's what I had for him. And it's good to give. I also have this laptop from Dubai, from a friend, who also, we were all here in Ghana, going for a campus ministry. He went overseas and then bought me this. I have about 5 items or gifts from abroad. This is good stewardship. And this is what the Bible is saying, that what you have, give to the needy. When we say needy, a needy isn't someone who is poor. No. Me, I'm not poor. But someone who is in need. For example, you are in traffic, you buy water, and then you are holding a very high currency. The seller has no change. So therefore, the mate or your fellow passenger will say that, oh, I have a point. Then, in that moment, you are needy. You understand? So when we say needy, of course, maybe the dictionary will distort, but it's not always about someone who is proper, someone who is in destitute, no. But the moment you lack a need, then you are a needer. On that note, we will end here by saying that have a focus by laying your treasures in heaven, the accumulating wealth on earth. This is the end of chapter 4. Next week, we will start God's learning with chapter 5. Biblical characters who were guilty of the love of money. I think we will treat about 5 or 6 of them. See you next time. Bye-bye. Have a good question.